Welcome. It is October 12th. We're going to start the week off with a little bit of a spicy story. It's really funny, and we're going to have some good times with this one. But let's start off with what's going on. Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins are teaming up on Cleopatra for Paramount. So if you didn't know, Gal Gadot plays Wonder Woman. Patty Jenkins is the director for both Wonder Woman movies. Of course, Wonder Woman 1984 has not been released yet, but it's coming eventually. I'm hearing by Christmas, actually, it's going to come out one way or another. We'll see what happens. But anyway, apparently there was a bidding war for this movie, and Paramount has won that bidding war, and the movie is going to happen. I'm sure anybody that's been paying attention can figure out why people are mad that Gal Gadot is playing Cleopatra. And we'll get into that in a second. Let's go over this little short story real quick and then get into the nonsense. Gal Gadot will trade her lasso of truth for a golden crown, playing the legendary queen of Egypt in Cleopatra, a historical drama that will reunite the actress with her Wonder Woman director. Paramount Pictures won the rights to the project, reportedly beating out other suitors such as Apple, Universal, Warner Brothers, and of course Netflix. Gadot will get a chance to put her mark on a role previously essayed by the likes of Claudette Colbert and Elizabeth Taylor, playing a woman who romanced Julius Caesar and Mark Antony and served as the last ruler of Egypt's Ptolemaic kingdom. Taylor's version proved to be so costly that 20th Century Fox nearly went bankrupt. Hopefully, this one will be less lavish. That's crazy. I didn't know that, actually, that they almost went bankrupt off of that movie. I don't think I've ever watched the Taylor Cleopatra. Maybe I should go and watch it and check it out, that it's like almost cost them to go bankrupt. So they go on to say that there's been a number of Cleopatra projects kicking around in recent years, including a Sony project, which would have had Angelina Jolie and Lady Gaga, or it was rumored to star one or the other. So that's basically it, and you think that this would be the end of the story. That would be it. But oh no. There's a little bit of a controversy going on, and we're going to go over a lot of the tweets. Data Racer 117 was kind enough to put a nice collage together, so we'll go through some of that salt. But as you guessed, Gal Gadot cast as Cleopatra, and the internet isn't too happy. I'm sure nobody is surprised by this one. The funny thing about this one is how wrong Twitter is. Now, we're going to go over some of these tweets because they're as nasty as you think they would be, but I got to set up the tweets first so that you can see that they're wrong this time. They're usually always wrong. I want to correct that. They're usually always wrong about everything, but this time they're a little bit more extra wrong because they're saying that Gal Gadot is whitewashing Cleopatra, and that's not the case. They're showing all kinds of pictures of these actresses that should play her, and that's not the truth. So even the kingdom itself, like I mentioned earlier, if you go and look it up even on just Wikipedia, it talks about how it came from Alexander the Great, and it was a Greek kingdom, basically. I'm going to give you the quick, short history lesson here. You can go to Cleopatra race controversy, and they pretty much say that she was essentially of Greek ancestry with some Persian and Syrian. Okay, so saying that she is a black woman or Arabic, I guess maybe you can say she's a little bit Arabic, but there's a lot of Greek in there. So Twitter is completely wrong. And it's just funny to watch them double down like they do, because of course they do, right? So we can go ahead and take a look at some of the salt, which is fantastic. Data Racer 117 always doing such a fantastic job. So here are the original announcements. Gal Gadot, I love embarking on new journeys. I love the excitement of new projects, the thrill of bringing new stories to life. Cleopatra is a story I wanted to tell for a very long time. Can't be more grateful about this A-team. And then Deadline Hollywood reports, Cleopatra epic to reteam Wonder Woman's Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins. Paramount wins wild auction. Now, I think that this will probably be a good movie because Wonder Woman is the only movie I've seen from Patty Jenkins, but I liked it. And Gal Gadot is very lovely and a very good actress. So I'm looking forward to watching this film. I love a good historical documentary style movie, or however they're doing this, I don't know. But if it's a good historical movie, fantastic. Patty Jenkins did some good stuff with the Amazons and Wonder Woman. So I'm hoping that this will be a good movie. But we move on and we look at some of the salt, and you can see Twitter doing its thing. Such a loving place, a place of peace and love. At Gal Gadot, go ahead and take yourself out, as Gal Gadot hate account says up there. Here's a response to Gal Gadot. Eat my excrement, you F-face. Out Gal Gadot, I hate you, dumb B. Oh, here's another one. F off, you colonializing war criminal Ash B. You ruin everything I hate. F you, you don't deserve this honor, B. Cleopatra would rather die again instead of seeing this disaster. Here's another one. I hate your guts. When will Gal Gadot end? I mean, how loving is that one? F you. Go F yourself. Really? This basic, boring woman as Cleopatra? No woman of color was available? Disgusting. F Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins for this tone-deaf and insulting choice. Never forget that stupid hashtag imagine mess Jesus Christ. Now, here's the thing. Pretty sure, isn't Gal Gadot a woman of color? Isn't she? Or is she just not the right woman of color? But I'm pretty sure that she is a woman of color. So I find that this is rather stupid. Like I said, I'm against this. You need to get whoever it is from that basic area of descent. I think that that's stupid. Gal Gadot is a woman of color. And I think that it's fine that she's playing this role. I don't see the problem here. But, of course, you know, and I'll show you some of the people that they want to play this character. But it gets pretty spicy. So let me show you some of this hateful stuff here that they're throwing out, which is pretty disgusting. But you are allowed to say this to Gal Gadot, I guess. This is just fine over on Twitter. They're okay with this kind of language. And then, of course, we get some casting suggestions. Justina Ireland here saying that the woman who played Shuri in Black Panther would be a much better casting choice, even though that would be incredibly not historically accurate. But, you know, anybody but Gal Gadot should be able to play her. We got another one here. Cleopatra was black, which is not the case. As I've shown you, that's not the case at all. But apparently she's whitewashing someone that was never African to begin with, which I find absolutely crazy. So they're just throwing it out. I guess we're just going to rewrite history now. We're going to rewrite history now. Okay. All right. So it's just funny to see the backlash here. And there's a lot of it. Data Racer did a good job, but there's so much he could have probably made like 17 of these. But I'm sure this actually does a good job of showing all of the salt going on. Every time this happens, and every time this happens, we see this. Anytime that there's a casting choice like this, and this time is what makes this one so much funny is how dead wrong they are, and some of this stuff just blows me away. Like, so this stuff and this stuff, how they can say, you know, you need to end yourself and be so nasty like this. How come this is never, you know, it's so funny how they handle targeted harassment over on Twitter, because if it's the right kind, they just let it go, right? So this is just fine. They let this roll all day long. And I think that it's pretty disgusting. Now, if it was somebody that they like over there who's sending the right message, they would be quick to ban everybody that's been saying this stuff. And I think that's another subject. But I just thought that this was some good salt. And I wanted to share it with you guys because this is a great example of them being completely wrong, because there's so much stuff out there that shows you just how wrong this is. I mean, you can just do a quick little history lesson. This was not hard to find. I mean, it's actually pretty simple, especially with Cleopatra herself. But I guess we're just going to go ahead and just ignore history. History doesn't matter. We have this bust here of Cleopatra. This is, I think, one of the only ones that even survives. But hey, let's just ignore that. We don't need this stuff. Definitely Twitter is always right. Twitter's such a shithole. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I definitely enjoyed looking into this. This was pretty fun for me. I find this salt hilarious. And I think a lot of you do too. And what makes this one even better is how wrong they all are this time. And that's a lovely thing. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please share the video. Throw a like up. Make sure you still subscribe. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out.